Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering draft video. It's Al here with you. This is how to draft MTG. We've had some requests for some sealed deck, so while I don't consider myself to be a authority on the subject, I'm going to try it out and give you my thoughts. I've listened to some content, especially some great content from Limited Level Ups. If you're interested in some great limited content, Alex over there has some really good thoughts on sealed, so I'm going to be definitely borrowing from some of his school of thought on this. First thing we're going to do, I've opened up my sealed pool here, saved a little bit of time on the video. I've just pulled 40 cards, just the first 40 cards I clicked, I just pulled them in to populate this deck. Actually, they had basic lands by automatically, so I've pulled in, whatever, the difference between that and 40. So I'm just pulling that in. I'm going to go click done. I'm going to click add to decks. Okay. It's going to say deck is added. I'm going to go to my decks. I'm going to try and find this thing in this mess that is my decks. Oh, look, it's right there. Okay. So if I click here and then I click export, sealed deck has been copied to your clipboard. Okay. So then I'm going to go to a website called SealedDeck.tech. Which I'm sure some of you have heard of, but if you haven't, check it out. I'll be right back. I'm going to flip over to that. Okay, we're back. We've gone in our browser to SealedDeck.tech. Just had to refresh the page there for some reason. And I'm going to go to Paste Deck. I'm going to go Control-V on my computer here, and it's going to paste in the entire sealed pool along with the cards that I did drag in. So I'm just going to quickly remove all of these. Just realized I can just do that by clicking clear deck. There you go. Okay, so why are we using this? Because it just makes it a lot easier to sort through your stuff and sort of see things in front of you. The arena interface is just not very good for sealed deck. I hope that they are able to do something about that in the future, but for now, this is what we're doing. So usually best place to start is sorting by rarity, see what rares we have. Really nice to see that we have a sword, a colorless card that's always going to sort of fit. And then unfortunately, we've got a couple of sort of bad ones here in Azuri Stalker the Spheres. Not sure that we're going to really want to be base blue-green in general in this format, or that we're going to want to run this. This is essentially like a 4-mana 3/3 or a 7-mana kind of Mull Drifter. It's like not the worst in general, but in this format, it's pretty slow. Venser's quite good, so if we see an opportunity to splash, definitely will want to. And Tekkathal seems pretty darn good too. 4-mana 3/5 flying, doubles up proliferate, can become indestructible if we remove some counters from things. So there's a little bit of incentive to play blue here. I still doubt we'll end up playing the Azuris, but who knows, something crazy could happen. And then Monument to Perfection is pretty darn bad. We're definitely not going to be playing that. So we'll sort by color, and this is basically the Alex Nikolic school of thought here from Limited Level Ups, but just pull down everything that looks like it's worth playing from each color. So it doesn't look like we're going to be white because, our white's pretty shallow here. We've only got 5 cards. In terms of blue, there's just really not a lot of blue cards that are very exciting. There's a Malcator's Watcher, there's an Escaped Experiment, but we're probably not going to have the depth of artifacts in Sealed to want to play those. There's a single prologue to Phyrexia. Again, we just need like a ton of redundancy in the poison sort of sphere to want to play this card. So we're going to not bother with it. This is Escaped Experiment and the Watcher here for the artifacts deck. Again, probably won't want to do that. Chrome Prowler, again, probably won't want to do that. So Distorted Curiosity, you're always playing. Eye of Malcator would fit in the artifacts deck. So, okay, let's pull some artifacts down, see how many we end up with. Doubtful. Mesmerizing Dose, I think, is good enough to get there in Sealed. That's the 3-mana enchantment, tap something down. People have asked me to scroll over cards more, so I'm going to do that. Trawler Drake is probably not good enough, but if we have enough Proliferate, that's the 1/1 that gets bigger when you proliferate oil onto it. Tekkathal, we just talked about. Quicksilver Fisher, this is a good sealed card. This is just a solid. In sealed, you're happy to play stuff like this. 5-mana 4/3 flying and gives you loot. That's quite nice. Vivisurgeon's Insight, 5-mana draw 3 is going to be good. Probably won't play 2, but we would play 1. Blister Zoa is probably good too. 6-mana 4/4 flying. has some other text. So our blue is like not terrible, but not a lot of synergy, not a lot of like, definitely not playing the artifact stuff, right? So we can probably put back the, actually I might play the Watcher just because it's a two drop, 2 mana 1/1 flying, dies into a card. Chrome Prowler we'd probably just play, but Malcator, I have Malcator, we would not. Escaped Experiment we would probably hope to not play. Just too low impact. Okay, so there's our blue. So not looking good to play blue. Duress can come out of the sideboard, but this is best of one, so no. Whispers of the Dross for sure. Anoint for sure. These are two of the better cards. Blightbelly Rat's excellent. Double Drown and Ichor. Wow, okay, that's really nice to see. That's 2 mana -4/-4. Anoint with Affliction, exile 3 or less. Blightbelly Rat, 2-drop, toxic, proliferates. Pestilence Cipher. So I'm going to pull these in, but like probably not looking to play these unless we're like super in on toxic for some reason. 2 mana 1/1, flying toxic 1. Cutthroat Centurion is not good enough. Infectious Inquiry is good in Sealed, I believe. Anything that draws extra cards is really good in Sealed. 3 mana draw 2, lose 2. Give them a poison. Head Cleaver's fine. 4 mana 2/4 menace toxic. Scrap Trap's probably good enough. And Grimnark is actually quite nice. We're happy to see that. 6 mana 5/5 Death Touch they discard. So, like our black, red looks pretty good too. Cacophony Scamp is good on 1. That's a 1/1 dies, deals damage. Hexgold Slash, obviously, the shock is really good. Sawblade Scamp, this is an example of a card that I don't think you want to play in Sealed. It's too low impact, too slow. So we're going to leave it in the board for now. Barbed Batterfist is excellent. 2 mana 3/1 that equips later. Centurion's not very good. Cackler's not very good. Those are just kind of vanilla 3-drops. Volt Charge is excellent. 3 mana deal 3. Splitter is probably good enough. 4 mana 4/2 that equips. Furnace Strider, obviously excellent. 5 mana 4/5 haste. Give something else haste. So our red is good, but pretty shallow. Let's look at our green. A couple of Cultivators. I think we're interested in playing these. 1 mana 1/2, so blocks for you early and then can ramp you later, which is important because in Sealed you're likely to play a few more sort of 6-drop cards. Thirsting Roots is nice if we want to splash. That's a 1 mana search for a land. Long Legs, we would play as a filler card, but not going to look to start it. 2 mana 1/3 reach. Infectious Bite, 2 mana bite spell is very good. Spore Singer's pretty bad. Mantle, no. Viral Spawning, 3 mana 3/3 toxic 1, and if they're corrupted, it comes back. I think we'll bring this down if we have enough ways to corrupt. If they have 3 poison counters, then we're going to want to play that one. The Brutalizers are good on rate, 4 mana 4/4 toxic 3, but they die to Hexgold Slash. So I wonder how big of a deal that is. I mean, in Sealed, I'm not going to run into as many red players because some people just won't open red cards, but the fact that this dies to Hexgold Slash is really unfortunate. So, yeah, we're gonna hope to not do that. Oh, my webcam's not on. Hey, there I am. Hi. Hey. Okay. Tyrannax Atrocity. Sure. Paladin of Predation, I think, could be good. 7 mana, 6/7 kills them in 2 hits. Okay, so our green is decent as green usually is in Sealed. All right, our gold cards. So again, we talked about Venser being pretty reasonable, but we don't have a ton of proliferate. We do have the mesmerizing doses in blue that will proliferate for us, but we don't really want to. I don't think we want blue as our main color. So don't think we're going to Venser, but because if we were to like splash this in green black, for example, what are we proliferating? I guess we've got Double Drown. We've got the Rat, which can do something sometimes. We've got Whisper. Actually, okay, so we've got 3 consistent ways to proliferate that we're interested in using. Infectious does not proliferate. Scrap Trap does. Okay, so maybe actually Venser could get there. Thirsting Roots also has a proliferate option on it. So I spoke a little too soon. Okay. Brutalizer also proliferates. Okay, so if we're playing black-green, we will splash this Venser. Whenever you proliferate, draw a card. Okay, so then we got to think about, like, is Azuri going to be good enough in that deck? It feels like we are most likely to be black-green. I'm just sort of train of thought talking here now at this point, because we have the most playables in each color. Although I do like our red terms of the removal it provides, and the Furnace Striders are pretty cool. So there's a world where we're black-red, maybe splashing something else, but we'll see. Okay, and continue with our gold cards here. Necrogen Rot Priest is obviously very good by itself. 4 mana, 1/5 toxic, gives Death Touch, gives extra poison to people. Just a very annoying card. Just the fact that itself gain Death Touch is quite nice. We don't even necessarily need the Death Touch to our other toxic creatures, but we do have some toxic going on with these brutalizers, this Blight Belly Rot. So we're gonna try to build black-green first, I think, and we could splash this Ravager. I think this Ravager is probably worth it. And we'll look at our colorless cards. Sometimes you want to start with colorless cards first, actually. We have a Dross Skullbomb. That'll be good in black-green, I think. Maze Skullbomb's a bit slow. I don't think we're playing white, although we could splash Ossification. That'd be the only thing we're doing with white is splashing Ossification. So I'm going to put these back. I think, like I said, I think blue is out for now. There's nothing like super splashable there. Monument to Perfection we already talked about is not good. Prism could play if we need this. If we need the splashing potential, the fixing rather. Traxxas Skitterfang, probably good enough on curve. Atlas is pretty bad. Kinsmith doesn't do anything. Ribskiff doesn't do anything. Terramorphic, always nice to see a Terramorphic in your pool. Okay, cool. So let's put the red away for now, and let's just see. We're obviously playing this sword. I want to see what our curve looks like if we're not... so I'm sorting by mana value there. If we're not going to splash anything, what does our curve look like? We've got... we'll put this land away for a second. So we have 24 playables without needing to splash anything at all. And we could even bring in Copper Longlegs, I guess. If we needed a 2-drop, that's about it. That's the only thing we're really leaving on the sidelines here. So I just want to kind of get a vibe for like the texture of this deck without any splashes. Because when you start splashing stuff, you are running the risk that your opening hands are going to be worse. You might get mana screwed a little bit more often. You might need to mulligan a little bit more often. So these are all things that you're risking in order to play more powerful stuff. So I'm going to separate our non-creatures here. Not doing too badly. I mean, we've got 2 Pestilent Siphoners that are pretty unexciting. So I guess that's our concern with this build, is that our 2-drops are not very good. We don't have very many of them. So splashing does not help us there, obviously. Our red does not offer any good 2s. Our blue offers Bring the Ending as a 2, which is not super reliable, obviously. Just have to hope that they play something on 2. We don't even have like a Dune Mover or anything. We have a Prophetic Prism we could play on 2. It's pretty unexciting as well. I guess Venser's a 2-drop, but again, don't think we want to be main blue-black, but we can look at that in a second here. Okay, so that's the weakness of this build, is that we don't have enough 2s, but we do have a couple of 1s in the Rustvine Cultivator, which is pretty nice to slow down our opponents if they are sort of going aggro on us. So if I were going to cut anything from this deck, I think it would be actually like the Pestilent Siphoners, which obviously is exactly what I'm talking about here. Then our 2-drops are worse, but these are like very low impact. They don't do much. Our 4s are great. Our 5s are decent. Our 6s and above are pretty strong. I guess the Siphoners are pretty good with the sword. Again, I'm just train of thoughting here. This is not, it's not meant to be like a definitive sealed guide or whatever. They're pretty good with the sword because they can pick up the sword, and that gets scary. But just the 1/1 body on their own is so unexciting. Whisper's Dross is really good. All these cards are all our non-creatures are very good. Viral Spawning kind of counts as a creature. I don't know if it will let me put that up there. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right, so in terms of cards we would like to maybe splash, Cinder Slash would be cool, and Venser would be cool. And I don't think Azuri is worth it. 4 mana 3/3, a hill giant, as it were. that might get us a little bit of value from proliferate later on. But look, we don't have repeatable proliferate. We just have like a few ways to do it. We've got double drown. We've got thirsting roots. We've got whisper of the draw. So we got 4 proliferate sources. And then we've got scrap trap, which is a little unreliable because it's a 5-drop. And brutalizer, which is a little unreliable because it costs 6 mana to do that as well. So I'm not really going to be considering those, I don't think. And we've got blight belly rat, which is not reliable because it has to die at the right time. So although it's not bad with the Zuri, but like, yeah, I don't think so. And so Venser, if we proliferate, we get a 3/3. And then if we proliferate again, it gets flying and life. Like, I think if this is coming down on turn 2, it's a little bit more exciting because it's a 1/3 and it can like hold things off. But as a splash card, I think I'm going to say no. Now, Cinder Slash Ravager on the other hand, we've got double Cultivator. This obviously wants oil counters to make it cheaper. As a splash card, it doesn't really matter if it's like still costs 5 or 6 mana because we're not going to be able to get to our red source for a little while there. So anyways, this is kind of cool. The 1 damage picks off a lot of things. Pretty annoying. So if we're going to play that, what are we cutting? I guess like Paladin of Predation or something big and clunky like Tyrannax Atrocity maybe. Or Scrap Trap, one of these 5 mana 4/4s. Started thinking in my head like how likely are we to actually want the toxic, like how much toxic do we really want here? We've got 1, 2, 3. Skitterfang doesn't have toxic. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually have a lot. 8, 9, 10. I guess if we're counting the Paladin. So maybe we do want to try to kill people with poison. In which case we would not want to cut the Atrocity. So we could cut the Grimnarch at that point, but Grimnarch is just such a solid card. Coming down, make them discard, gains you life sometimes. If they can't discard, you gain 4 life. 5/5 body's really good. So, it's a pretty tough call here. And I guess we're cutting maybe 2 cards. No, I think we'll cut 1 because Thirsting Roots kind of counts as a land, right? This kind of counts as like a tap land. And it's best of 1, so we get the hand smoother. Well, you let me know in the comments what you think of this build. I think this is the build we want to go with. Our black removal is so good that we need to keep it. We could cut Head Cleaver just for curve. We don't want too many 4s. We could cut, I guess, Scrap Trap's a little clunky. Maybe it is just Scrap Trap. Like the Proliferate's pretty cool, right? Because like we certainly have an opportunity to get our opponents to high poison, but I think this still might just be a deck that corrupts with some regularity, but doesn't actually kill with toxic unless we're like beating them to death with a Paladin or a Brutalizer or something. But at that point, the toxic isn't really necessarily what's killing them. It's just they're getting hit by a big creature. So I think we're fairly likely to kill with damage. Head Cleaver. We don't have good combat tricks. This card is great with combat tricks. It's not very good otherwise. Maybe we just cut the Head Cleaver then. We have a lot of 4s. All right. So let's do that. Let's add some basics. Let's add some basics. So we're bringing in Terramorphic Expanse. We're bringing in anything else that I missed here? Skull Bombs. Prism I don't think we're going to need. Thankfully we have Expanse and Thirsting Roots to find our... So this way we can play 1 mountain, right? Because we get to go... Mountain is 1 source. Terramorphic Expanse that finds it is the 2nd source. And Thirsting Roots is a 3rd source. So we have 3 red sources by playing only 1 mountain, which is exactly where you want to be when you are trying to splash. Every mountain beyond the first is a potential like dead draw, gives you a bad hand that you have to mulligan. So when you're trying to splash like this, and I'm not even sure it's 100% correct to splash this Ravager. I think it's good enough that we should, but it's possible we're not even supposed to, because like any opening hand with this mountain could kill us, in the sense that like, we've got a couple black cards, a couple green cards we want to play, and like we draw a mountain instead of a swamp, and we don't have a black source, and then we have to mulligan, right? So this is very, very risky to play any more than one of these. But if you can play exactly one and have a couple ways to find it, then you get your quote unquote 3 sources of your splash color, and you're all set to go. So we need a lot of green, since we are trying to cast Thirsting Roots. I would like 9 green sources if possible. So I'm going to bring in 8, since we've got, and it's funny, it's even telling us here how many sources we've got. So I'm going to bring in 8, since we got the Expanse. We get 9 sources. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. And that leaves us with, 6 swamps we can bring in, which gives us 7 sources of black on lands, plus Thirsting Roots is 8. And we don't have any double black requirements. We do have a lot of black removal we want to be able to cast early. We got some stuff we want to be able to cast early here, these Siphoners and stuff. And Blight Belly Rat. So, yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, we'd have that 8th black source, I think. So we could go up to 17 land. Well, I guess we do have that 8th black source in Thirsting Roots, right? We could go up to 17, but I think I'm going to try it like this. Again, let me know in the comments below what you think. This is sort of a somewhat quote-unquote standard approach to sealed deck building. Sealed is a very hard format. It always is, regardless of what the set is. There's people who are super experts at sealed deck in general. I'm just sort of pulling from my experience playing the game and the content that I've listened to, and just having a look at the pool and trying some stuff out. But this is how I would approach it. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you for round 1. I'm gonna go back into, so now I got to go back into Arena and build this deck the way that it is here. In my sealed pool. I'm going to not show you that on camera because it takes forever. And then we're going to see you for round 1. So we'll be right back. As always, please click like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Helps a huge amount. See you soon. So just quickly, as I was building the deck here, the one swap I'm considering, I'm just going to try to keep in the back of my mind, is actually maybe bringing in Copper Longlegs here. And maybe cutting Skitterfang. Skitterfang's not going to do a ton with the 2-drops that we have, because they already have flying, and this one's got toxic or whatever, but like I just don't know how much Skitterfang is going to do. It's good late because we have big creatures we want to jump and give lifelink to, so I'm going to try it. Longlegs is so low impact, but if I feel like we're really needing it, that could be a card to bring in. Here we are, round 1, and here exactly what I'm talking about. This mountain is killing us because we can't cast our 2-drop, and we're going to have to mulligan this hand as a result, I think. It's kind of close. Like, we can cycle draw Skull Bomb, and we, eventually cast a Tyranax Drosy or whatever, but I think it's too slow. So, fortunately, we are on the draw, and we can take a mulligan a little bit more easily that way. Okay, this hand is much, much better. We are going to put back probably Infectious Bites, since by the time we can actually utilize this, it's going to be turn 4 or later, when we've got a Brutalizer or a Raw Priest in play. So hopefully we can Whispers of the Draw something early, stay alive, find our lands, and play our big guys. I think putting the bite back makes sense there. Fortunately, our opponent does not have a 1-drop, so maybe we'll get to snipe their 2 here. We will not. Okay, drawing Sword is cool, but we need a 3rd land here. Need a 3rd land. Let's hope to find it. Gonna take a hit for 1 in the air. You got it. All right, no 3. No 3. Love it. Hit our 3rd. Okay. So we can just cast Inquiry here. And I don't see a reason not to. Hope it doesn't get countered. Be pretty good if it did. For them, not for us. Okay. We're in business. So we're going to be able to cast Brutalizer or Rot Priest next turn. And then the turn after that, we'll have our choice of Sword or Sword Equip or Tyrannix Atrocity. Okay. So if they do have a counter spell and they chose not to use it there, they're blue-white. So Venomous Brutalizer is going to be pretty good against them. I mean, but obviously both these cards are. I guess... I'm just thinking, like, which one would we prefer to lose to a counterspell? I think we just run out the more powerful card, which I think in this case is the Brutalizer. Okay, it's alive for now. We'll see. Gonna get bounced or something? Okay, I wonder what they're holding. Could have, like, a complete devotion then or something. Okay, we take one. So our opponent had a bit of a rough draw there. Since they've got a blocker, I think we just play the Atrocity and swing with both. We could play Necrosion Rot Priest plus Whispers of the Dross, but we'll just get in there. So, I mean, fortunately our deck... Okay, they did have the bounce spell. All right. Our deck did make it to the late game. We didn't get run over super early. So now, hopefully, the power of our late game plays here will just sort of overwhelm what our opponent's able to do. Sentry's pretty good, though. Excuse me. There's something in my throat here. Okay, Drown and Ichor plus Whispers kills the Sentry. We could also just attack into it, kill it with Whisper. That's honestly probably the move. They're not going to want to take 6 poison here. They're definitely going to block. So let's do that. We'll wait for them to take damage so that we can proliferate. Oh, I guess they've already taken a poison. Okay. Doesn't matter a huge amount, but that's a pretty good draw. Probably no attacks. Okay. I guess they want to get corruption on us, right? All right, so we have 6 mana. Drown is unfortunately not an instant speed card. Let's see. We can get them to 8 poison. I guess whenever a creature you control, they get additional poison. Okay, so we just play Rot Priest. They go to 9 poison, then we play Ichor, and then they die. Okay. Found it. Figured it out. Wow. Okay, so I guess we are killing with poison. I didn't really think that we would, but I mean, when you've got these boofers out, it certainly helps. Ten poison. Let's go. Achievement unlocked. All right, see you for round 2. All right, we're on the play. We've got a Thirsting Roots to find our swamp. And we're going to go from there. We got a sword in hand. This is feeling all right. Fortunately, we don't get to use this to find our mountain, but that's okay. It's partly why it's here, is to find swamps. Again, just questioning whether or not this red splash is truly worth it. Seems like the power level of our deck seemed pretty good in the last game without needing to draw Cinder/Ravager, but Ravager is pretty dope, so I don't know. Okay, Dune Mover. Great sealed card. Our opponent does not need to to use it there, but it is great when you need it. Okay, so we could trade our rat for Dune Mover. I think we'd rather keep our rat around if we can, because we could equip sword to it next turn. So by playing the sword here and not attacking, what this might force them to do is not attack us with Dune Mover if they don't have another way to block next turn. They're not going to want to take a hit from the rat. It's likely that they will have another blocker or a removal spell to interact here, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But all that being said, I think we're going to take 2. This forces them to either hold up a removal spell or just, yeah. I mean, so, okay. So, interesting. Very interesting. So we have a free attack with the sword here, which I'm inclined to take. And we're not going to use a removal spell because they just have to, like, they have to chump block this. Or no, they can't block it at all because it's protection from green. All right, so we get an extra land play. And probably just anoint their Vorak. Actually, this is insane against their deck. Protection from red and green. What am I even talking about? Well, I guess we'll get the value from this while we can. Forgot about the protection ability. Jeez. So they need to either race us, which is I think what their plan is going to be here, or find an artifact removal spell for this. Again, I think we'll just crack in for 4. Unadulterated. See if we can get an extra land play. Okay, that's 6. And we either play Grimnark or Brutalizer plus drown the Chimney Rabble. I don't think we need the Cultivator at this point. And I suppose like or we could also use Infectious Bite too. Like the way that we lose this game is they are able to like Hazardous Blast us and kill us with like a large amount of creatures. So I think using a removal spell this turn is worthwhile. So I'm going to play Brutalizer. We're not going to proliferate, and then we'll use Infectious Bite. I think Drown's a little bit more flexible. I want to hang on to that. Bite is an instant, but when they have mana up, then we're running the risk of like an interaction spell or like something like that, right? So I guess in red green it's not that super crazy actually, but all right. So we're feeling good. Opponent's got a Dune Mover to block this turn. Maybe we did want the Bite actually, because now we could like blow them out on a double block, whereas we couldn't do that before. I think we're just drown the Plague Nurse. We don't get to connect with the sword this turn, but they have to kind of like double chump. Puts them in a pretty rough spot. But yeah, actually in retrospect, I do want the Bite this turn based on how this is playing out. So maybe I should have seen that coming. So they're going to chump the... I'm assuming they're chumping the 4/4 with the sword. Okay, they're just going to take the hit. Okay, so they're probably just dead then. All right. Take our extra land play and... I don't know. I mean, Cinder Slash Ravager would... I'll play 1 Siphoner. We'll kill 2 Siphoners. Oh, we had 2 land plays this turn. I suppose we could also equip it, but then it could get shocked in response, so... We're just going to leave this the way it is. See what our opponent's got for us here. Bladegraft Aspirant. No attacks. And they're at 8 poison. So we can't quite kill them on poison yet. But if they do take... Well, they can't take a hit from Brutalizer. Oh yeah, we can just kill them with Siphoner into Scrap Trap. Okay, so... I don't know why I'm not seeing these lines. I'm not used to playing black-green. It's probably the main reason. But think we just turn creatures sideways and let the arena triggers do the rest. Okay. Okay. Opponent's going to kill our sword wielder, but it's going to proliferate them, and that's going to be that. All right. Happy with our start so far. See you for the next. All right, we go first. Hand looks good. We got a 2-drop. We have our. We're gonna fetch our mountain as well. I think we could look for a forest because we do have some. We have those brutalizers. We have 2 brutalizers and a tier next to draw, so they're double green. So to draw, we're actually more likely to draw one of those than we are the Ravager. So it's actually maybe correct to just find the forest. We also have Infectious Inquiry though to find. Our extra green source, of which we have 8 more in the deck, or 7 more, 8 more including the Terramorphic, I think. Really tough. I'm not sure statistically what we're supposed to do here. I'm gonna grab the mountain. That feels like the right thing to do. So now we'll probably draw all of the double green things and no forests, because that's how that works, I think, right? Okay, never mind. We got there. All right. Can't play this mountain, though. We need to play a swamp to play our Siphoner. Opponent's got an incubation sac online here. Scrap Gorger. It's pretty good. We're going to have to kill that. I think we'll just get rid of that right now. And let's poke in for 1. I guess the Siphoners are good with the Rot Priest as well. The extra toxic damage. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy with these, but I think in general, they're not a card that you're like, oh, I'm excited to just play this. It's like, it's good, like, if it works with the other cards in your deck, but it's not a reason to want to start there. Okay, so our opponent's in corrupted mode here, which is good for us. And boy, yeah, we're actually like really threatening poison kills with this deck. I, again, was not expecting that. So next, they're going to be at 6 poison next turn if we cast Infectious Inquiry, which I kind of want to do, but then I guess we've got our spawning. Probably more reasonable to just cast that. See if we can get in for 1 first. I think we'll leave the Priest back since they could double block it. It's doing a pretty good job on D right now. Okay, Siphoner's going to eat a slash. And we'll play spawning. We'll flash it back next turn. Go from there. So they're going to be able to make infinite 3/3s now with their sack. So we'll have to find another way to get through what they've got going on here. 5/5 Reach Menace. Pretty good. And I guess let's have a look, see what's on top here. Infectious Bites. Okay, in conjunction with Death Touch. That gets kind of interesting. So we're not doing anything this turn. This 3 to activate. So what we might end up doing next turn is like attacking with our 2 beasts and seeing if we can give one Death Touch and bite maybe the 5/5 or something. I think we take 5 because now... Oh, no, they're going to make a 3/3 token, though. So yeah, maybe we're just going to block here. Need to stay alive, need to draw some of our endgame stuff. So right now we're falling behind on board. Sword is quite nice. So now they got to block with their 3, but they're going to be able to do that for a few turns. I guess we also get the ability to shoot the Sky Warden down. We have just enough mana to do that. We'll equip the beast token. We could bite the 3/3 and then we get in. We could also just re-equip the Sword of the Raw Priest. I think we'll just do that. I don't want to spend this bite if we don't need to. So I'm just going to move the sword back to the Raw Priest. We're not in danger of getting hit by removal with only a single green up. I don't know why our thing died. Oh, shoot! No! Because I had 3 damage on it. Because that's an artifact, not a green creature. Shoot. Okay, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Whoopsie. My bad. My bad. Okay, so now we're kind of back to plan A here. So if we swing, they get to block again. That doesn't help us. We could bite, swing, look at the top 2. That might be worth doing at this point. We have a lot of mana. Pretty likely that we're going to hit something good to play. We're just opening ourselves up to... wow, that was a big punt on my part. I apologize for that. We're just opening ourselves up to a big swing for 8 from them. And they still have another 3/3 that they can make. Oh, I can't cast Bite because I can't target my Rot Priest with it. Okay, that's pretty funny. So never mind. We don't have that option. All right. Just bumbling around here. My apologies. So I guess Hazardous Blast is an option because it'll the can't block clause on it will still work. So basically we just need to draw a creature and hope that they don't draw Hazardous Blast. So let's go ahead and search for land here. That's so funny. So, okay, so Bite and Sword, a bit of a non-bow here. I think we were... there's good potential for us to lose this game, unfortunately. In part due to my my punt there. So they're doing the math. We're going to go ahead and, I guess, block this. Take 9 down to 7. If we block the 5/5, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, and then they have an extra creature, so I think it is better to do this, because if we draw a creature this turn, then we might be able to like bite something. Yeah, like that's a good draw, right? And they don't have a card in hand, so we're going to draw, or we're going to gain 4. That's excellent. And we're definitely not attacking. Are we going to bite something now or try to get value? Feels like we need to try to get value. So I'm going to wait. Lucky draw for us there, the Grimnarch. Filigree Silex. Okay, so they'll be able to destroy our sword at some point. So I'm wondering if... Oh, they can put an oil on their sack and make another 3/3. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. All right. I was thinking about biting a 3/3 at the end of turn, but I suppose we won't do that now. I would love for them to attack us here. That would be... They will probably lose the game if they attack right now. Let's see what happens. So our opponent They could have also put an oil counter on their filigree silex if they wanted to kill the sword a turn sooner, but I think getting the 3/3 was probably better. They're considering attack still. Okay, they're coming in with the team, so they should be good for us. Let's got to figure out how we're blocking. So we're going to kill the 5/5. We don't need to worry about that. So we just want to take minimum damage here, so we'll block. Obviously, the fuseling is going to get bigger and bigger. That's the only thing that's super concerning. So if we do this, we're going to take 6 because we're going to kill the Skyward, and then this is going to get bigger. So we should block the fuseling and take 6 down to 5. So, I mean, we are somewhat in danger of dying here. I don't know if we can... I don't think we can attack this turn. Well, actually, I mean, they pretty much have to block. Like, they don't technically have to block. And if we whiff on our 2 cards, then they just kill us. It's pretty unlikely that's going to happen. We've already drawn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands, 11 lands. There's only 5 lands left in the deck, 20. So we're pretty likely to hit non-lands. So I think we're going to attack. They're going to block, most likely. They're also going to go to 8 poison if they take this. They may need to take the chance, though. Like, this is a pretty interesting spot. Okay, they are going to take a chance here. All right. Well, let's hope we don't see land. Hopefully we draw something good. Yeah, those are good cards. Atrocity. Kill a golem. Does this have trample? No. Oh, definitely proliferate them. We can move this because it doesn't have damage on it. So, pretty good hits there for us. Like, it, pretty likely that we did get to hit those, but so now they're at 9 poison. They need to block both of our toxic creatures to not die. So, I mean, yeah, if they drew Hazardous Blast, we're dead, but that was true for most of this game. And it turns out they did not, and they're going to concede, so we will move on to the next game. See you there. All right, we're back. Round 4, we go first. Hand is not great, but we've got an interactive spell, and we could cycle this Skull Bomb if we need to find something to do, which seems quite likely. Got a Ravager. Hopefully we'll be able to cast that at some point. All right, so we find a Rot Priest. Pretty sure we're going to be cycling this Skull Bomb end of turn. We want to find land 4 on time and land 5 on time, realistically. Unfortunately, our opponent didn't cast anything last turn that we could drown, but of course they're only on 1 mana, so makes sense. Let's cycle this away. Even though the value it provides is quite nice, but we just want to make sure we're hitting our lands. And as you can see, we're having a little bit of difficulty doing that, which is somewhat reasonable, but good to cycle away that Skull Bomb to dig through some of these non-lands. So really hoping to see not our Terramorphic Expanse again, potentially getting punished by our splash here, but I mean, we'd be running that Terramorphic either way. So, hey, look at that. Perfect natural draws here for us. So yeah, we'll go ahead and I think cast the Brutalizer. It's a little bit, I mean, these creatures are pretty darn similar. Maybe the Rot Priest is better. So our opponent just played Prophetic Prism and passed. In terms of the Rot Priest, obviously can threaten Death Touch, get through a blocker. Hoping to draw land, cast Atrocity next turn. The only thing I like about playing Brutalizer first, I guess, is that playing Rot Priest second means the Brutalizer's Toxic 4, essentially. Also just Brawl's a little bit better. We want some mana. I think we're supposed to play Brutalizer here, but could be totally wrong. Could be Rot Priest. They feel very similar in power level. I just don't think we're not gonna have 3 mana available next turn to activate this. So if our opponent puts us in a spot where we need to do that, then it's gonna slow us down. Whereas this gets through blockers without needing to spend mana. I don't think the play is all that impactful, but I am thinking about it and talking through it. Okay. And we're just going to play Atrocity and swing for 8. I don't think there's anything single green. They could have Tyvar stand, but that does not kill our creature in combat. They're just going to chump because it's a 6 poison coming at them. And now they're on 3 poison. And they're going to play a Cackler. They're in trouble here. They're not dead per se. We can bite and then put them to 9 poison. Probably better just play Rot Priest. Go from there. Yeah, opponent's going to check out of this one. All right. Sure, that was fun. Yeah. Curving out, beating down. Love it. And we're back. Opponent goes first. We were missing a color. We can cast Skitterfang on 3. It's not a very good blocker, though, so I think we are going to mulligan this. And saying it's much better. We've got Thirsting Roots and a reasonable curve. We can just put the Skull Bomb back, I think. That seems right to me. And, okay, see our second swamp. So, again, we're in that spot where we want to draw a double green at some point because we have the Brutalizers and the Atrocity that we want to cast. We also want to draw the red source at some point. For whatever reason, this time around, I'm going to get the green. I feel like we're kind of constrained on mana, and the Ravager doesn't come down until turn 6. We've got a lot of time to find sources of things, but this could be ill-advised. Drew the green naturally, so there you go. We'll play it. Play the source we found, so our opponent has less information about our hand. They're going to anticipate or experimental augury. Look at the top 3 on end step there. And a Trawler Drake. That's a nice play, as we don't have an answer for that, although we did just draw one, so that's pretty nice. So the Anoint will always kill Trawler Drake no matter how big it does get. So I think I'm good to just start playing creatures and develop our board, spend our mana. Get the Rot Priest down next turn. And if this does ever get out of hand, okay, yeah, for example, by wielding a sword, then we'll deal with it then. Right. Don't want them to connect with the sword, of course. Obviously, if they go for the equip and we get to blow them out, that's great. Can this exile an artifact? No. It's the other one that can destroy artifacts. Maybe, no, it's just sacrifice. Anyways, okay, so we have no answer to the sword. Which is not great. And it's protection from green. Which is also not great. So we have to try to race the sword with Rot Priest. They've got a Bilious Skull Dweller on the battlefield, which is going to make that difficult for us. I think by playing Siphoner and holding up 2 mana, we might be able to get them to not equip this turn. And I mean, if they do equip, then we get the tempo advantage of exiling in response. And I mean, if this gets countered, obviously that's really bad for us, but okay, they don't have a counter spell clearly because they're tapping their blue source for this. This is exile, so something like the indestructible combat trick won't work. I guess they get to... you know what? We should have waited till attacks. That was pretty bad. We can double block this Skull Dweller. Yeah, that was pretty terrible, actually. Should have waited till attacks. I'm used to killing in response to sword equips because the protection that they offer is pretty deadly. Okay, they're not going to go for the sword equip here, which is fortunate for us. We're going to just take 2. And cool, we've got Rod Priest, Grimnarch. So, I mean, now we're just in racing mode here. I don't know how much we care about Siphoner connecting. I guess we do if we have Rod Priest in play. So we'll give Siphoner Death Touch, and we'll just attack with Skitterfang. If we can get a trade, we're pretty happy with that. Just keep their creatures off the board. I mean, there's also like, do we just hold back? But then they can just equip to the Flincing Raptor, and we can't. I mean, we can chump block, but that's not good for us. So let's give Death Touch. Just try to race the sword. This is 2 poison. Obviously, they're not going to take the trade here. But I mean, this is 2 poison, and then you know, we're coming at them with even more next turn. They're coming with both, which is a little aggressive, I think. But I mean, they're going to get so much advantage from the sword here, so we're going to take it. Don't want to trade our Rot Priest, obviously. Bilious Skulldweller is a very, very nice card because they hit land and Voidwing Hybrid. That's really good. Yeah, the sword is absurdly powerful. Opponent's going to anoint our Rot Priest. We are corrupted, so that does work. It's pretty good. Chose not to play the hybrid, so that's decent for us. Unfortunately, Infectious Bite doesn't do the trick for us dealing with the sword, but the protection from green that it offers counteracts that. But we can Grimnarch here, make them pitch their last card, and continue to try to... Oh, that's a pretty good one to destroy. Flying to Vigilance, Death Touch. I mean, we could give Vigilance to the Siphoner, then we could chump the Raptor. They go to 3 poison. They go to 3 poison, and then if they were to attack with both creatures... The smart play, if they knew what our hand was, would be to attack with the Raptor and then re-equip the sword after the fact, which would kind of mess us up in terms of trying to get through for more damage. But so if they go to 14, I don't think we're killing them with poison this game, so they go to 14. If they leave themselves open, we can Infectious Bite and hit them for another 8, down to 6, and they're in a spot. So yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Or sorry, another 7 down to 7. Plus, like, how many more turns is this game going to go on for meaningfully? Like, might as well just use these oil counters while we have access to them. Nice. So they're going to move the sword over, it looks like, to the Bilious. And come in with both. Okay. Okay. Could be a combat trick. Not crazy about trading away our Grimnarch. It's like kind of the only way we're killing them at this point, unless we were to get our own sword. So I still think the move is to chump block here. And if they don't have a creature, okay, that was a land. Okay, good. Good. So they are gonna move the sword. Oh, they made the same mistake we did a couple games ago. Okay, so they killed their own thing. That was pretty good. We're still under threat of problems here, but we can get a counter here, give lifelink, and I mean the race is on, right? We'll get them up to 4 poison as well, because why not? Let's give some lifelink action. Okay, so a little bit of a lucky break for us there with our opponent making a little bit of a mistake, but see, they get to connect the sword, get the value train rolling here. They've got a Planner Disruption and a land, and whatever they drew for the turn. So it's a lot of stuff. Grimnock locked down. Augury, going to find them another piece of action, presumably. Hopefully not a removal spell. Hopefully a creature that we can kill. 7 poison, though. We're getting up there. Okay, they did find it. And they're going to proliferate us. So now we're just going to die to infect. Poison, rather. Whispers of the Dross. Doesn't really do anything for us. Proliferates them to 5. Gets our Skitterfang. Happening, this can't attack. What else does this do? Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. Yeah, I think we're we're in pretty tough here. Do we want to just like kind of proliferate for no value? I don't think so. No, I think we're just going to get in. Hopefully I didn't miss anything here, but I don't think there's any way to sort of get these guys attacking. Maybe this Whisper will do something for us. They're at 5. I mean, if we draw Atrocity, did we already draw that? Yeah, if we draw Atrocity, we could kill them, I guess. But pretty unlikely. They're probably going to be able to proliferate us to 10 here off of what they're going to hit. So the sword, the power of the sword right there. Pretty nice. Anoint and Jawbone Duelist and... Okay, well that's something we can actually kill quite easily. Anoint's going to get our Skitterfang though. Sure. So, probably just dead here. Ooh, interesting. Oh boy. So, there's not a way to do this, but if we could... Because if we do this now, if we Whispers of the Dross, then the equip won't happen, and it won't unattach from the Raptor, but I mean, ideally... if there's a way we could get unattached from the Raptor, we could kill the Raptor with our Bite. I think we just have to draw Anoint. I know we've already cast Anoint. I guess we can draw the -4/-4. But, yeah, there's no reason to not do this, but, oh, man. There's some world where we got to do what we wanted to do there, but, yeah, unfortunately, it remains attached. We can't Infectious Bite. All right, so we're dead if we don't draw Drown and Ichor, is basically what's happening. Or Tyrannextrosity doesn't quite do it. Don't think there's anything else in our deck. Not sure what our opponent's mulling over something here. Okay, we did draw Tyrannextrosity. Unfortunately, it's not going to do it. They're at 5. They'll go to 8. Not even 9 because our Raw Priest is gone. And then we do go to 10. So, unfortunately, this one just got away from us. The power of the sword. I mean, if we missed a damage at some point, then that's on us. On me, I should say. Because they were at 1, but 1 is not 0. Interesting game, though. Let me know in the comments if you noticed any glaring mistakes in that one. And we're back. Opponent goes first. Got this useless Ravager in our hand, and but we do have a 1 and a 2, so we're going to keep. Hand's not great. We're going to need to draw some stuff to do here, but we will have an answer to their 1-drop. I think we'll use it now. Would hate to have them play a Forest and then a Combat Trick. And then, we're really on the back foot at that point. Yes, they could play something like a 1/1 double strike here that we want to kill, but I think, I don't know. I think it's generally more correct to just kill the thing rather than, wait. Because they could also just go to combat there and attack us, and it's like, all right, well, are we going to kill it? And then they play Complete Devotion or something, and then we just get rocked. So, okay. Similarly, now Anoint with Affliction doesn't have the same problem because it just gets its it gets its target every time. So we are going to pass, aside from a hexproof trick, which red-white does not have. So we will take our time here. They're just going to come in. We're going to kill it. But, you know, it's a chance they go like Flencing Raptor, and then maybe we want to kill that instead. So in that spot, I think it's okay to wait. Okay, here comes a halberd. So a little less afraid of this since it doesn't have toxic. So we can either go Infectious Inquiry or Pestilent Siphoner. We are on the back foot. Siphoner's not going to block for us. So I think we're going to just go ahead and Inquiry here, even though it takes a little bit extra damage. But make sure we hit our land drops, because once the Brutalizer and the Scrap Trap come down, then that'll invalidate the smaller creatures that our opponent has. See what they follow this up with. Hopefully not a flying creature. Okay, good. Good. A little awkward, as we want to cast our 4-drop on time, but we also want to get our mountain. But yeah, we will cast our 4-drop here. If they have Hexhold Slash, we're going to get pretty punished, but at least we'll have a 5 to follow it up and then go from there. Now I can't remember because I recorded half of this video yesterday, but I feel like we haven't really seen much red yet on the other side. And obviously, yeah, our creatures being pretty vulnerable to Hexhold Slash is certainly concerning. See what our opponent's got for us here. Okay, opponent goes Raptor. No creature to jump, unfortunately. So, unfortunately for them, lucky for us, we get to sit back. They don't get to attack us there. Cool. So do we want to attack them? Pretty happy with a 2-for-1 here if they want to double block. And we just slam a Scrap Trap. I think that's a good move. I think against red, with the possibility of Hazardous Blast being in their deck, if we can get them to trade off their creatures in a favorable way like this, it takes away their win condition. Also, worth noting, they only have the single mana up, so they can't have any combat tricks for single white, except for, I guess, the +1/+1 enchantment, which actually would have been pretty good there. Still a 2-for-1, but not in the best way. Okay, we'll proliferate their poison up to 5 now. They did just take a hit for 3 poison. And they're going to come in for 2 in the sky. We're going to take our first poison counter here. Not too scary. Getting corrupted against red-white, it also isn't all that concerning. The best corrupted stuff is generally in white and black. All right. So they could have tricks on defense here. Mostly worried about Complete Devotion or the... I guess the worst one for us would be the 2 mana +2/+2 equipped creatures are indestructible. Could have played my untapped forest to actually get the proliferate off of this. Excuse me, but we didn't. I think we're going to get in, though. Certainly ways that one of our creatures dies here. I don't think they both will die. And I do believe we're the aggressor at this point. Okay, Engraver looking like a chump block here. We'll see what they want to do. Or they have... okay, so they've got a removal spell. That's fine. So that's a solid 2-for-1, I think, and eliminates our worry about them having, going wide and being able to blast us out. So I think if we're controlling the size of their board and taking away spells like that produce multiple creatures, then we're pretty happy. I'm going to fetch now just in case I forget. Not much value in hidden information, I don't think, at this point in the game. But I guess if you were playing this at 100% pro level or whatever, you'd wait to fetch. But all right. So we're at 10, they're at 12. They were able to kill our second Brutalizer. So now we got to do a little bit of math. So they go to 8, we go to 6. They're dead on the swing back. And we have 7 mana, so not enough to cast both of these. And we don't get to kill anything. But yeah, I mean, they still have the creature with flying, so I think I'm good to attack for 4 here. They have to get through a 5/5 vigilance next turn, which is not a small feat for a red opponent who just used a Molten Rebuke on something else. They may not have another one. If they do, then things get a little bit interesting. We'll have to do some more math. We will have a Siphoner to block their Raptor. I guess they could have Planar Disruption or Ossify as well in their deck. Okay, here comes 2 in the air, so no removal spells so far. Anointer doesn't do anything. It does trade with the Scrap Trap. Ooh, a Rot Priest. Cool. Okay, so it trades with the Scrap Trap. So we could just attack for 5. Get a double block. Don't hate that. They don't take any damage, though. If we attack with both creatures and they want to trade with the 4/4, then they're either going to 3 or chumping, which is also good for us. We're at 8. Because we have no way to block this flyer reasonably, I think I do like to attack with both. We don't have any Toxic yet, so I'm not going to play that. I'm getting with both here. They're going to trade. Put them to 6 poison. I don't think poison's going to matter because they're at 3 life, but it could. I mean, our Rot Priest will add to poison. They end up like gaining life somehow. Okay, Rot Priest and Siphoner. If we had 1 more mana, we could... No, 2 more. Yeah, 1 more mana, we could Death Touch. Right, because you can do that on defense. But anyways, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Raptor coming in. So they have to have like some combination of... I mean, they can't... I don't think they can deal 6 damage in 2 cards. If we block with the Siphoner, swing with both, they chump block, they go to 1, or sorry, they go to 2, they go to 9 poison. If we don't block and swing with all, then they are dead, right? Because the Rot Priest and the Siphoner kill them on poison damage, and the Ravager kills them on regular damage, so I think we will not block here. Could have another blocker on their end. It's a close game. If we don't successfully kill them this turn, then we could be in trouble. Okay, they found another blocker in Barbed Batterfist. And they're going to move their equipment over to the Raptor. All right, so 1 card in hand. If we swing all, they have to block Ravager, and they have to block Rot Priest, because they're going to 8 poison. Rot Priest will kill them. So they're blocking both of these, and they're going to 8 poison, or we leave the Siphoner back. If they have exactly Volt Charge in their hand and they equip Batterfist to Raptor, and we block with Siphoner, we go to 4, and they can't kill us with Volt Charge. Otherwise, we lose the game. So I think it's worth it to... but I guess if we don't attack with Siphoner, then they don't have to block the Rot Priest, do they? Right? Because they go to 9 poison. So that opens us up to some other issues. That turns on Hazardous Blast for them. It's possible they've been holding a Volt Charge this whole time because none of our stuff dies to it. It's also possible they've been holding Blast this whole time because they've had no opportunity to kill us with it. So it's really a toss-up. I think I'm going to go with... I think I'm just going to go with attacking all here. Because this at least forces them to lose all their creatures, right? But yeah, if they have exactly full charge, we're dead. If they have like a combat trick and they draw another combat trick, we're dead. So very close game. Yeah, be one to rewatch for sure, just to see if I missed some sort of telegraph as to like what could be in their hand. Okay, looks like turns out they don't have it. So there you go. I guess we played it right. I'll see you for the next. And we're back. Opponent goes first. We have a good hand. Colors are covered. Woo. And we've got Rustfind Cultivator into removal spells and creatures and stuff. So yeah, we're good. We are good. Cacophony Scamp. That's a good start for our opponents. We're not going to really want to block that. We could, I suppose, but I feel like the mana this generates is going to be valuable to us at some point, so we'll take a damage. No problem, no problem. Okay, Barbed Batterfist's a little annoying. Could trade off with that, I suppose. We can also shock our Cultivator by equipping the Scamp with the Batterfist. Don't think they're going to do that, but you could. You could. Or we tap our Cultivator, put an oil on it, and then drown the 3/1. If we don't do that, I guess what are we doing? We're just casting Draw Skull Bomb and passing the turn. Not great use of our mana. I'm a fan of using all mana where possible, especially with Infectious Inquiry. But it'd be nice to like proliferate a poison counter, so we could wait. I'm gonna lean to just killing their thing. And if they want to spend a mana and sack their own guy to kill our guy, that's fine. I think like controlling the board in the early game tends to pay off in this format, whereas in other formats and formats past, you're trying to save your removal. You're trying to sort of answer specific threats. This format does tend to reward just like spending as much mana as possible as early as possible and killing your opponent's stuff early. So they're doing the same to us here. They're going to spend 3 mana and a Volt Charge to kill our 1-drop. It's just sort of indicative of how this format plays out. We'll cast a creature before our draw spell. No attacks. Okay, that's good for us. I think we're certainly attacking here. If they had a combat trick, they would have tried to push damage, I think. Okay, so we're going to take 2 poison. We're on our way to flashing back our viral spawning if we get either Inquiry or Scrap Trap cast. Nice. Okay. Rot Priest is down. Still no open attacks for our opponents. All right. Let's get in for 3 and 1. Opponent's going to block. Okay, so they're in pretty big trouble here. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this deck. I mean, really impressed with Rot Priest. Of course, is a known killer, but in draft you just don't see black-green as often as any of the red-based decks. So it's cool to get a chance to play with some of these cards. Okay, Duelist of Deep Faith is happening. Can trade for the viral spawning token, or we can just really put the screws to them. If we drown an Ichor and swing for 7, they're like pretty much just dead next turn. So I think we're gonna go for that. It's a little aggro, but they have 1 card in hand, and we would like to close this out before they're able to draw like a Wanderer or something crazy. Yeah, actually a Wanderer wouldn't even be good here, but yeah. All right, we got there. All right, we're back. Opponent goes first. Yeah, we're running good here. We're getting some good opening hands. We're going to keep this one. A little interesting here if we're going to go for the Terramorphic, but I think we go Rustfind Cultivator on 1, play an untapped land, play one of our 2-drops. We'll find a way to get this expanse. I guess if we don't draw an untapped land naturally, though, we won't be able to brutalize her on turn 3. So I think the play is definitely Cultivator on 1. And then we may decide to play Terramorphic on 2 if they don't do anything here. But okay, or if we just draw our land, obviously we're gonna go for a 2-drop then, so we can get a turn 4 or a turn 3 brutalizer. Okay, cast a rat. Go ahead and oil this up right now. So I have a tendency to forget to do these things. Okay, and definitely down to trade Blightbelly Rat for Flensing Raptor. I'm sure our opponent will not go for that, so that's a free attack. And let's play a turn 3 Brute. How about that? There we go. Not a ton of stuff in white-black that answers this. Ichor does. Disruption certainly does. So those will both work. All right. So can we Terramorphic this turn? We've got our 2/2 coming in. They're probably just going to block. If we want to cast Cultivator and Siphoner, probably leave Skull Bomb in hand and just get this Terramorphic down. Yeah. No sense in leaving this guy back because they don't have a ground creature to try to block. So they may think we have a combat trick and not block there. Although, if we were really smart, we would have just done that as quickly as possible because clearly our thought process there kind of telegraphs that we don't have anything. All right. We got some oil. So, I mean, if we draw Ravager, we're going to be able to do some fun stuff. If one or more tokens to be created, twice are created instead. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts or creatures to give indestructible. All right. That's very good. It's very good. Don't want to see Basilica Shepherd then, do we? We'll take a poison here. I'm going to fetch. So our only answers to this, if we can corrupt them, we can annoy it with Affliction. Ooh. Or we can just cast a giant thing. We don't have enough mana, so we'll have to wait on that. And yeah, I guess we're just sitting back. They have 1 poison on them. So we could chump block this turn with Blightbelly Rat, get them to 2. I was thinking, like, if we do draw a Knight with Affliction. You could also chump block with a Cultivator. Although we do want to be able to play this next turn, so we don't want to do that. So we could chump block with Siphoner or Blightbelly Rat or take the damage. Okay, we're going to pass the turn. We have no attacks, obviously. Just trying to think ahead so that I don't make flustered decisions. Try to have a predictive plan of what's going to happen and then adjust on the fly, I think is a good way for me anyways to sort of navigate. Okay, they're not coming in for 4, which is cool. Fine to take 2, but I don't really want to get corrupted. I only get 2 cards in hand. Should have cast Draw Skullbomb that last turn. That was pretty dumb. Okay, we'll take 2. Not sure why. It's too busy thinking about the next turn. Maybe it's not a good strategy after all. Okay. Oh, geez. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. We have a bigger creature than them, so I'm okay. Slightly okay with this. Not okay with forgetting to play the Skullbomb, though. Hopefully it won't punish us too bad. Drown and Ichor. That's a good answer for Mondrak. That's a really good answer for Mondrak. Okay. Well, I mean, if they had a token producer, they would have certainly cast it last turn. So I think I'm good to play the 7-drop this turn, let this live, and if they get lucky and they hit a Shepherd or whatever, then so be it. I think it's correct to spend our 7 mana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're going to untap a land. Oh, God. Click clicking correctly. We got 1. We got 2. And now we got 7. Opponent seems to have an instant speed effect. I think it's just the Mondrak sacrifice ability. All right. No whammies. No whammies. Oh, boy. Yeah. So that they must have drawn that. They would have cast that end step otherwise. In. Okay. Now we're in trouble. Okay. Well, I guess we've got a chump block with the rat, and then we've got them corrupted next turn. So maybe we draw Anoint. We can deal with the Titan. We're going to have a tough time, though, with all these flying creatures being on the back foot the way we are here. So, thinking this is going to be an L for us. Proliferate, though. We'll play it out. Brutalizer. It's an interesting draw. Proliferate them with that. We can, I guess, chump. We're at 8, though. Boy. And we're taking 5. Do we, like, have to kill Glider or something? Just to not die. Seems like we do. So I think we're going to cast Brutalizer plus Drown and Ichor. We're not going to get to proliferate our Brutalizer. We can proliferate off of Drown, though. So maybe we should tap Cultivator first. Or are we trying to chump with Cultivator? Maybe we're just trying to chump with the Cultivator, so we're not going to tap that. Okay, cool. All right. I think I figured it out. Gonna go ahead and drown the glider since it represents like 3 to 4 damage by itself. And brutalize. Yeah, the fact that they exile our paladin too is pretty gross. Skullbomb doesn't help us. Okay, passing back. Basically, we're just trying to put ourselves in a spot where we can draw the removal that we need and maybe kill them on poison. It's pretty unlikely. Here they come for a big hit. I'm interested in trying to trade with this Mondrak. If they want to sack both their other creatures, I think we're cool with that. Certainly can't take the hit, so yeah. All right. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Nice. All right, well, it looks like our opponent's kind of got us here. I guess we can cycle our Skull Bomb, see if we can hit an Anoint, but even that isn't going to do it, right? So we can Skull Bomb back the Brutalizer. We don't have quite enough mana to... So actually, it did punish us, because we would be able to 1, 2, 3, get it back, and then actually replay it. Probably doesn't end up mattering, but we're going to cycle, see what we find. A forest. Look at that. All right, we will see for the next game. And we're back. Opponent goes first. Hand looks great. We got all of our colors. We got a 1 and a 2, and a little bit of ramp to maybe get some of these guys out. Pretty happy with this hand. Ooh, that's a good start, though, for our opponent. That's going to be tough to beat. It's going to be real tough to beat. We have no... so whenever this becomes target of a spell by anybody, so if they target with their own combat trick, we get poisoned. If we try try to kill it, we get poison. If we try to kill another one of their creatures, we get poison. So like this is like the first thing that needs to die in order for us to be okay. So we've got a Drown an Ichor, which is great to see. Proliferates up our cultivator. Kills the Rot Priest. We take a poison. Could just play Blightbelly Rat. They didn't show us a combat trick last turn. And I would like to be able to block Predation Steward. It's not does not count abilities. And then maybe we even get to poison them and then proliferate. I think the upside here is worth it. So we're going to try for it. Because I don't think, like, if they had like a fight spell or something, I'm fairly certain they would have used that last turn, because they get us to like 2 poison right away, kill our mana dork. Okay. All right, so we dodged a turn of attacks from them, which is pretty nice. Drew another Drown. That's pretty good too. So we can cast both Drowns this turn if we wanted. Not really sure that we're interested in doing that. Don't think we can attack with the rat either. Then we're just taking too much damage coming back. Need to hit a land drop this turn next turn as well to be able to do anything. And yeah, if we could just get the first poison on them, we'd be pretty happy, because we got Scrap Trap and Double Drown. Get them up there pretty quickly. So maybe it's worth it. I mean, we could just go like drown your Rot Priest, drown your Hive Master. Then they're at 3 poison. We're not taking very much damage at that point. We're still going to be taking like... Oh god, we need to make a decision here. Okay. Oh god. Alright. Are we going to go for it? I don't think so. Like, based on the... I took too long there, and based on the fact that we didn't get the proliferate off that, I think we're just going to hold back here. Try to extend the game a little bit. We might get stuck on lands. And I feel like I didn't proliferate. I guess we ran out of time on the... yeah. Okay, that's fine. Hive Master... Yeah, I think we got a block here. Okay, we got lots of oil. Drew a land, that's great. So Atrocity just gets blocked by the Mantis. Could just play Atrocity and not attack. Kind of puts them in a... I mean, they can attack with their Mantis either way. Put us to 15. Stops their 2 little guys. But next turn we can like drown, hit them for 4. Hit them for some poison, maybe get some stuff going, or maybe we just draw. Okay. This is not good. Need to play faster. I feel like there's a lot to think about in this game. Okay, we're not attacking. Play a little bit of defense here. Troll is very good for them. Yep, nice. Okay. And they're thinking about not attacking with the Mantis, but yeah, they ultimately do. And yeah, I think we'll just take 5 here. Good hits for us. Okay, so now probably just play Grimnark. We're gonna, unfortunately, we're gonna take another hit from this Mantis though. So there's no window to play Drown and Ichor right now that makes any sense. So take a card from them. And just try to establish our board, and then hopefully the Drown will, yeah, the Drown could take care of the Mantis. They may not go for the Mantis this turn, so they don't want to spend the oil, but yeah, I mean, Drown could take care of the Mantis, then we can actually start to attack. Okay, they are going to come in. Oh, we'll take it. We'll go to 10. All right. Well, we have enough mana to do all the things now. So how do we want to play this? We can Drown the Mantis. Swing with both? The Atrocity just doesn't get through. They just double block it, and it's a 1-for-1. Maybe I'm focused too much on the fact that like we're not getting proliferates. I really just wanted them to be poisoned so that we could proliferate them. That's what I'm hung up on. So I think we're gonna kill the Mantis, attack with the Grimnark, get a 2-for-1 at the very least, or get 5 damage on them, and then we're gonna play Scrap Trap. Yeah, we just have to give up on the Poison Dream, unfortunately. Got lots of oil, though. Maximum oil on this Cultivator. This Cultivator is a Birds of Paradise, this game. Let's go. I guess an Ignoble Hierarch would be a better comparison, wouldn't it? 5-6. Okay, we're not corrupted. Don't really want to take 5. I think we got a double block here. If they've got Titanic Growth, we're going to just lose the game, probably. Kind of either way, though. I think we'll go for the dub. But we're not getting anointed, at least. Okay, so 1-for-1 is good there. Whispers of the Dross is a good draw for us. No poisoners, though, now, so we definitely can't proliferate. Probably not attacking with both creatures. They can make like a 3-power thing. We just get in with just Grimnark, or do we just swing with both? If they take 9 here, so they can only block with Cultivator. If they take 9 here, they're kind of in trouble. They can swing back for like 3 to 4. We've got Whispers to kill the Might. Especially if they try to pump the Might, then we get some good value there. Still feels like a little bit too aggressive. They come back for 4, we get a 6, but then they're dead, so they can't alpha us. Yeah, all right, so let's get in there. Let's go. Okay, they're going to chump. They're going to 14. And we're going to say go. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. That's fine, actually. Yeah, we can deal with that quite easily. Yeah. Attacks, no attacks. Okay. kill. Get some oil going. Draw lands. That's not good, but we're ahead at least. Okay, they're going to take 9. We'll hold the land in case they've got their own Grimnarch, because that'll gain them 4 life. Anoint with Affliction doesn't quite do it, so I think we'll hold that. Continue to pressure them. They're going to sacrifice to proliferate. They're going to 1 though. But we couldn't have attacked with everything. Oh, maybe shoot, were we supposed to? I think I just missed lethal, didn't I? We anoint. Swing with everything and they're just dead. Yeah, I did miss lethal. My bad. Sloppy. It's a sloppy game for me. Feels that way anyways. Okay, they're at 1. We're 10. So I wasn't thinking about Cultivator as an attacker that turn. That's why. All right. I don't know how we won that game. It felt like we were losing the entire time. So that's pretty cool. I think that the attack that probably lost the game for our opponent was the troll coming in with no combat trick and the double block. That's where it felt like the game was sort of turning in our favor. Also, like them not having a fight spell or something with this, that would have just been really, really gross. Or just combat tricks in general with this. Rot Priest. But anyways, we got there. Got the trophy. Got the 7-2. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for some folks out there who are looking to maybe play in the Arena Open or just want to get better at Sealed. Again, don't feel like I'm a huge authority on Sealed or anything. I think we opened a pretty good pool, ran pretty well. Some of the competition we faced was not like super, super tough. So, I mean, in an Open, you're probably going to face some tougher decks than we did. But obviously, we had a pretty busted Mythic Rare and some really good uncommons. But as you can see, like the format does play out a little bit different than Draft, where like card like Brutalizer was quite good for us. Black in general is really good just because like we opened good black cards. When Draft, you just never see black because people take it way too highly. So open yourself up in Sealed to playing different colors than you might normally in Draft based on what you open. Still don't know if the Cinder/Ravager splash was actually worthwhile, but hey, that's for you to decide in the comments below. You can also click like and click subscribe to support the channel, and we'll talk to you very soon.